Hi everyone, Chris Anderson coming to you live from Mount Comfort RV, where we are doing our showroom deal of the week. We're going through some of our inventory that's been here just a little bit too long and it needs to go. And for that, you're going to get some great prices, and we're going to give you a walk around, show you what this motorhome has to offer for you, and hopefully you love it. Please don't forget the number one rule. If you're interested in this motorhome, please ask for me when you call or email in. It goes without saying. Still, it needs to be said. Secondly, if you are just shopping and like the way we do things, just kind of educating yourself, that type of thing, but not currently in the market, do us a favor and at least give us a like. If you really like us, give us a follow as well. That helps us generate more views on all of our social media platforms, and more people will see these videos, which is actually what we're going for here. I put no money in my pocket from the videos, so you're not helping me directly there, but you would be doing me a favor, and I would appreciate it. All right, without further ado, what are we looking at? Well, we are in a 2022 brand new Newmar 3124 Bay Star model. So Bay Star is part of their gas lineup. They really make two models in their gas lineup. One is a little less expensive than the other. This is the more expensive of the two. This is their deluxe model, if you will, the Bay Star. But a 31-foot motorhome, 31 feet 11 inches to be exact. Now this is built on the Ford platform, which all Class A motorhomes pretty much are today. And on this F53 chassis, it's going to feature the new 7.3 liter Godzilla engine that is just ridiculous. It is a V8 horsepower monster. So 350 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque is what this has to offer you at a price that is greatly reduced from a diesel pusher, but yet this will still make it up and down the hills. This will still tow 5,000 pounds behind it, and it is a very nice ride and drive in this motorhome. Neat part about Newmar, whether you're looking at a coach like this, which is we're going to have a sale price on this under $200,000, or you're looking at their $2 million King Air. They're all built in one factory. They're all built by the same craftsmen all the way through the line. They do not batch build, so it's not like one day we're building Bay Stars, so we don't have to try as hard. You know, when you go to Newmar and you see the way they do things at their factory, there'll be a Bay Star going down the line next to a Dutch Star, going down the line next to a King Air, to a London Air, whatever orders came in next, that's the order they're going down the line, and the exact same craftsmen are building them. And the way they build the box, the floor, the walls, the insulation package, the ductwork, that does not change throughout the Newmar lineup. So you're going to get just as quiet of a motorhome from an insulation standpoint, and just as four-season of a coach from an insulation standpoint on the Bay Star line as you do on, like I said, a London Air, an Essex, a King Air. It doesn't really matter. So without further ado, let's get to what this motorhome has to offer for us. First of all, I can give prices on this. So this has an MSRP of $215,000 and change, and we have a sale price on this motorhome just under $185,000. $184,987 is actually our sale price on this motorhome. It's hard to find gas motorhomes under $200,000 now, and when you do, they're typically entry-level motorhomes. That is not the case here, as I'm about to show you. This is a high-end gas motorhome. As you come to the front, you're going to see really just about the only carpet in the coach. There's a little bit on the main slide, but a lot of that is taken up by furniture setting on it and everything. But the carpet that you see up front here, they still like that the best because carpet is a great sound deadener. So this just helps keep this engine quieter. This engine is already much quieter than the old V10. The V10 was a good power plant, but it was noisy, and everybody knew it when you were climbing mountains. So this makes it a lot quieter. We did option in the folding cockpit table, so keep in mind both these chairs will rotate around. This one goes a little past halfway around. This chair will turn all the way around and definitely become part of the living conversation, but you can also face them towards one another and have a really nice setup here. This table folds like this and this and this, and then flips over. Look at that. So if you face these chairs towards one another, obviously not when you're driving it, you have a really nice second dining area or a game table, whatever you like. It's very easy to use once you learn how this works. It works very smoothly and goes right back to being your center console with your drink holders and everything else. We'll come up here to the steering wheel. The new Ford platform has a lot more controls on the steering wheel, much like a diesel platform. From your cruise control to your menu, this menu will cycle you through a lot of options in your instrument cluster here that you can choose from, how you want your display laid out, that type of thing, trip odometers, whatever. But that's all controlled right here without your hands leaving the wheel. Wipers and turn signals obviously on the left, gear shift on the right. Now, we get into our hydraulic leveling jacks. All Newmar Class A's have hydraulic leveling system, and that's a fully automatic system. So literally you pull in, you set your parking brake, you hit power, you hit auto level, walk away. It will level itself. Headlight and flashers are over here, as well as our battery boost switch, which is like jumper cables for your coach. Our generator start and stop is on here as well. And our overhead fans, control for that is here. And even our dome light. We do have a little guy down here. Should be USBs, 2 USB for charging our favorite devices there. And then we come over here to the center of the console. We have our radio and our cameras. We have a center 12-volt port here. The control for the power shade, the shade up in the front window, the blackout shade, is power. Our center HVAC controls for our dash heating and air. And then, let's get over here. I'm going to sit down here. The passenger has a great little operating table here, along with a cup holder to the passenger side. There's an outlet down here that has USBs and 120 volt in here as well. Map light above your head, plenty of leg room down here. Our speakers are JBL. So many manufacturers just put the cheapest speakers in here, and I've had many people ask me on different brands of motorhomes, do those sound good? And I'm like, no, they don't. These really do. This is a JBL tuned sound system. You'll like that. We have our Bose soundbar, Samsung TV. These are names you know. They don't try to make this the cheapest little rattle box they can make it. Not a lot of storage space there. With the they've got some sort of electronics hidden behind there. So we're going to skip that cabinet. Over here, we do have our Wi-Fi router here for giving yourself better range on your Wi-Fi. And then this is where you could put a satellite receiver in this coach as well. So this is all prepped for a satellite dish. You do have over-the-air antenna built in right now, and you could bring that right through your Bose soundbar. Your Samsung TV's right up front. All right, let's move back into the kitchen area. First of all, I love this cabinet right as you come through the door, because you don't have to come all the way into the coach in order to throw some stuff in here. So if you just, hey, you forgot a couple canned goods and you're getting ready to hit the road, you just want to toss them somewhere because the slide outs are in and it would be harder to get back to the back of the coach, just slide them in there and you're good to go. Beautiful Corian, both on the countertops, on the table and the buffet back here, and on the backsplash. All of this is cut, sanded by hand at Newmar in Napanee, Indiana. If I pull these out, it exposes a double bowl under-mounted stainless sink. But if you're not using the sink, you put these back in and it just gains you that much more countertop space. Obviously things like a metal faucet, not some cheapo, and a pull-out sprayer. Nice there. This is an under-mounted 3-burner gas cooktop stove. This runs off the propane. Has your igniter built in there as well, so that you don't have to go find a match every time you want to light the stove. And then we have our 30-inch residential Whirlpool, again, a name you know, convection oven. So this will work as a microwave or as an oven, either one. The reason they do that, if we put an oven here, we lose these drawers. Well, in a 31-foot motorhome, every bit of storage is going to matter. So look at the drawer space we gain. Okay, these are soft closed drawers. They're full extensions. We have 3 big drawers there, then a little skinny drawer here. They made that a funny shape because of the sink. Okay, and then you get the full drawers all the way down through here. I love just how nice the soft closed drawers work. Cabinet space under the sink, and even a little flip down space for your cubbies. On our overhead storage, gonna have 3 spots here with a shelf on the 2 on the left there, a center shelf, which really kind of doubles your effective storage space there. All right. Our refrigerator, again, a name we know. This is Whirlpool. This is a residential refrigerator, runs off of your inverter, has a built-in ice maker, and this is like 10 plus cubic feet. 10.7 runs through my mind. All right. let's talk about our furniture on the driver's side of the coach, or the off-door side of the coach. This is a hide-a-bed sofa, beautiful sofa, and it's a long one. It's like 87 inches long, so that is not like your typical RV sofa. If you want to stretch out there and watch the football game, you can. Our storage above here, this is all one big cabinet. All right, but notice those doors stand up on their own. So if you have long items, you could kind of angle them through here. And then when we shut these, not only do they have the little felt backers on to keep them from rattling, but they have that strut. So that door that's not gravity pulling that down. That's this little strut pulling it closed. Once again, that's just that much less opportunity for squeaks and rattles. Our window shades in here, they're hidden up in here, but you're going to see that the windows have both a blackout shade and a daytime shade that you can still kind of see through. These windows are frameless windows. They do crank open, so you can have them open, get some natural breeze. Right above us, we have a fantastic fan right here. That's a big time negative pressure fan, so you open a couple of windows in here and you open that fan, you're going to get a nice natural breeze if it's a nice day, or if dinner gets a little too done, you can get the smells out of the coach very easily. Our ductwork in here runs right down the center, and that's by design. You have return ducts on this side and you have output ducts on this side. You don't see the air conditioner protruding into the living space. That's by design. The roof is thicker, it's full of a lot more insulation, and Newmar does not want that air conditioner protruding into this space. Why? Well, because it's noisy. And if it comes all the way into your living space, you're going to hear it a lot more. Anybody that owns an RV right now is shaking their head yes, because they understand, yeah, those air conditioners are kind of noisy. Well, when you keep the air conditioner out and just bring the ductwork in, kind of more like a central air design, you're going to notice it being significantly quieter. Also, why right down the middle? They used to spread them out. Well, everybody wants more and more slide outs these days, and if we put the ductwork, a row of ducts right here, when this slide room was in, that ductwork would be blowing right on top of the slide. So going down the road, it was horribly inefficient. This actually works very well with the slides in or out, and it's just a much better design. All right, as we come back, we have our buffet style dinette here. Okay, these are freestanding chairs. This does pull out. Okay, all beautiful Corian. That's not fake Corian. There's a lot of coaches you'll see out there. You might get some Corian or something like Corian in the kitchen area, but on the dining room table, they went cheap, and you'll have some cheap piece of laminate with a piece of T-molding on it that you know is going to shrink and come off in the first year. That's not the case here. This is all beautiful Corian. Drawer space here, here, and here. All right, I'm going to have to bend over here to show the cabinet. Good luck, Troy. There we go. So you can see the storage there. And then printer storage over here, where you could set up a computer, put your printer down there. That's an adjustable shelf because no two printers are the same. All right, and finishing off the kitchen is going to be pantry. So kind of a two-stage pantry here. We have these with the pull-out shelves, okay? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then you could use this as pantry, or I could see using this as partially linen closet as well. One thing about it, if you buy it, you can use it for what you want. All right. Let's check here. We have our bathroom here. Now, 31-foot coach, you're not going to get a bathroom like we have in the humongous 45-foot diesel pushers, all right? But what you're looking for is it adequate? All right, well, this is the Neo Angle shower. I'm 5'9", 200 plus pounds, all right? So plenty of elbow room in here, plenty of headspace in here. So somebody 6'3", 6'4", still going to be fine in here. You guys that are 6'7", 6'8", you already know these weren't built for you. Good luck to you. All right. Towel rack right on the back of the door. Why does this door hinge like this? It's a funky door. Well, when that slide room is in, that's a full wall slide, this would be very tight if it didn't hinge in the middle. So they make it hinge in the middle instead of hinging traditionally. Now, some people don't like this, but I've never really understood why. Because although it might be a little tighter getting in there, once you're in there and the door is closed, it's no different than if it hinged over here, and the benefit you gain, to me, just greatly outweighs any negative on this door. is the fact that instead of having a slide here and then maybe another slide here, and you have 4 feet in the middle where there was no slide out, we just lost that square footage. This gives you the space for the pantry, or it gives you the space for extra closet in the bedroom. There's just the full wall slide gains you significant square footage. Again, on a 45 footer, maybe it doesn't matter, but certainly on a 31 footer, every square inch matters. We don't start talking square footage. We start talking square inches. In here, I'm going to just let Troy get in here. Let me open up the cabinets so you can kind of see some of the storage. And then I'm just going to let Troy work his magic because it's too tight for 2 of us in there. Nice medicine cabinet, good Corian countertop space again, with plenty of space to the right of the sink there for all the lotions and potions. The toilet is tucked back in the corner a little bit, but there is plenty of room around it, again, once the door is shut. 9 out of 10 people prefer you shut the door, so, you know. All right, as we head back into the bedroom, the 3124 features a king-size bed with plenty of room to walk around it. 31-foot motorhomes, you're going to get a lot of queen-size beds in there. But what's popular right now, we all know, is the king-size bed. I can walk easily on either side of this bed. They left a skosh more room here for making the bed. And again, anybody that owns one of these beds that's tucked up in a slide-out, they understand why I'm saying that. These beds have been a nightmare to make forever. There's outlets on either side. There's Corian nightstands on either side. So you're very much able to plug in your phone, have it charging. The bed does lift up for storage. There's 2 extra chairs in there for when you do pull out the dinette. Okay. All right, let's talk about some bedroom storage here. Look at this closet space. Again, for a 31-foot motorhome, this is a lot of storage space. Not everybody wants to drive the 45-foot behemoth down the road, but they want to have room to store their clothes. So nice to have a big closet here. And then we have 5 drawers, 2 like this, okay, that pull out even beyond that, and then 3 like this, and then this little fold down here, that's a spot again for a DVD player or a satellite dish, and that's Samsung television one more time. Another feature I don't think we talk about enough, and forever you never saw this on motorhomes. When I was growing up, the motorhomes we had back windows in them. Today, that's just not a common thing. I love the back window. Number one, it just lightens up the bedroom tremendously. It's hard to see kind of on the showroom floor, but if we were on a sunny day, you'd see there'd be a lot more natural light coming in here. Oh, and I almost missed, on either side of the bed, you do have little windows that do open. All right, the windows that we have in this coach are all thermal pane windows. They are dual pane windows, I think, except for that back window there. They can't do it on that one for whatever reason. But the rest of the glass in here is thermal pane glass, so going to be a lot more winter friendly. These are really thick walls, thicker than any other gas coach in the marketplace. Don't believe me? Let's get the tape measure out. I'll bet I win. You're going to see that this is a very well insulated coach. This is only 2 slides, but it has a space of like 3.5 slides in it because of the full wall slide. So you have a slide here for the full wall, and then the bed is on a slide also. So what I want to do next, I'm going to bring in the slide rooms to show you what this looks like going down the road. Okay, so I'm standing in the bedroom. I could sit on the bed, I could lay on the bed, somebody could take a nap back here, no problem. Nice walkway here. I did forget to mention, just so you don't think we forgot something, this does have a bedroom door. This is a pocket door that even when the slides are open will completely close off your bedroom for privacy right here, just behind the pantry. As I come through here, there's plenty of room. I can get into the pantry, no problem. Easy access here. This is where you see why this bedroom door works the way it does. Okay, as it is, it misses that table by a significant margin. If it hinged normally, we'd be interfering there. So that's why they did this the way they did. All right, we'll close that up. I did forget to mention some of the particulars on this coach. This has, well, the interior is called Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R. That's the decor package that's used in here. The graphics on the outside that we're going to see in a moment are called urban graphics. And then this wood is one of our more popular woods. This is the arbor maple glazed cabinetry. So that's what you're looking at if you want to look through a brochure, that type of thing. You'll be able to match everything up with what you see here. I also want to go through, while we're on the inside, let's go through some of the system's up here. This is our main control center for the coach. So I'm just going to start at the top and work my way around this panel in no particular order. So this is what tells us our tank levels and our battery voltage that you see here. So those are probably the main things you'll mess with in here, is making sure your tanks aren't getting full so it's not time to dump the gray or something like that. Right below that, we have the Truma control system. Truma is our water heating system in here. This is a tankless water heater that is on demand. The Trumas are very popular systems, and you can take a really long shower, especially if you're hooked up to gray water and city water. Have at it. All right, our awning lights are controlled right here. That's very well labeled. Our step switch is here. Why do we need a step switch? Well, the step has kind of a dual functionality to it. This switch will tell it when you're set up in the campground whether you want that step to open and close every time you open and close the door, or if once it's out, it just stays out. The beauty of this system is that there is a master override on it to where you can't screw it up. If everything's working properly, if that door closes and the key gets turned on like you're leaving, that step is coming in regardless of the position of this switch. So that's a nice little safety override there. I told you it's pre-wired for satellite. That's the on-off switch. If you install a satellite, it does not currently have one. This is our slide-out control for the main slide room. The bedroom slide is controlled from in the bedroom. Our holding tanks have 110 volt heaters on them, so if you are in extreme cold, you can turn on your tank pad heaters to give yourself even more four-season capabilities. This runs our main awning in and out, these controls here. This is our power control system. What that does for us is that keeps us under a certain rating. It can detect what type of service we are plugged into and keep you under that. For instance, right now it detects that it's plugged into a 30 amp service, and no matter what I turn on in here, it's not going to let me go over 30. It will systematically shut things down to keep me under 30 amps. That way I don't blow the circuit breaker at the post, which is really annoying when you do that. And lastly is our inverter. Our inverter is what's going to run our outlets and our refrigerator in this coach when we're running off of battery power. When you're plugged in, it really does nothing. The power just kind of flows through the inverter. But when you're not plugged in, you're going down the road, you want to know what's making that refrigerator work. Well, it's the inverter. Now, your alternator charges the batteries supply the inverter supplies the refrigerator. How long can you do that? Indefinitely. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't run out of fuel or quit driving, you're not even working at a deficit. You're always charging your batteries and you'll get there fully charged. Now, the real question is, how long can I dry camp for? There's a lot of variables there. You know, were the batteries fully charged? How old are the batteries? What other things are you running other than the refrigerator? All those things come into play, but certainly 12 to 24 hours without any extra influence is very doable. And then when I say extra influence, I mean things like starting the engine or starting the generator would immediately start charging batteries again. So there you go. Let's go check out the outside of this. All right, let's show you the outside of our bus. So a few things to look at here. Beautiful masterpiece finish on here. Their paint is always stunning on Newmar. One thing that I always like to point out, there is a clear protector, what we call a diamond shield protector on here. It's very difficult to see. I'm just showing you the line there. And this protect against the bugs and rock chips and that type of thing while you're going down the road. So this protects your paint, and unless you're really up on top of it, you don't even see it. So that's a win-win. This is where our flagpole adapter goes. This comes with the little adapter that slides down in there, and then you fly your favorite colors. Now we also have side cameras and backup cameras on this coach. These are turn signal activated, so when you're going down the interstate and you want to change lanes, you hit your turn signal, it's automatically going to display on your camera on the inside, or on your monitor on the inside, what's in your blind spot next to you. And anybody that's ever spent any time, significant time driving a motorhome, if they're being honest, they'll tell you, yeah, they've almost run over a car in the lane next to them, because there's just a little spot where a little Fiat or something can hide from you, and it's frustrating. Well, those are a great safety enhancement there. One of the big differences when you step up to Bay Star from Bay Star Sport is that you do step up to a different tire size and wheel size. These are the 22.5, just like the diesel pushers have, and you step up to the Alcoa aluminum rims. Aluminum rims are better for a lot of reasons. Number one, they look better, and guys like them. Number two, they actually cool better because aluminum dissipates heat better than steel does, and heat is your enemy when you're going down the road with your tires. So beautiful thing there. Our entry step is a 3 exterior step steps here, and it's nice and low. A lot of people don't like that really tall first step. I think the older we get, the less any of us are going to like that. To have that first step nice and low and very evenly paced with the other steps is a beautiful thing. And our entry door here, we actually do have a nice storm door we can use as well. So if it's a nice day, get that over here where it belongs. If it's a nice day and you just want to enjoy the fresh air, that's a great way to do it. And this magnetically attaches back to the main entry door here. That's stiff. That needs a little lubricant. I mentioned on the inside the Truma system, our hot water system. That is what is right here. They even did a nice painted cover on it, so it really blends with the side of the coach. So exterior TV, one more time, it's a Samsung name brand TV on a swivel bracket that magnetically pulls itself back in there. Look how thick these baggage doors are. That's a great amount of insulation for your basement. You do have some pass-through in this first bay here as well. All right. One thing I like as an RVer is my freshwater tank is hard to get to. This one's really easy to get to, not the tank itself, but the drain for it. So when you're done and you've got water remaining in your tank and you just want to drain that out onto the ground, that's a really easy lever to flip there. I like the placement on that. If we come back another bay, we also have our low point drain. This drains the remaining water in the lines. And again, that's super easy to get to. This is another good storage compartment. There's a 110 outlet out here in case there's anything on the exterior of the coach you want to plug in. And there's a light in there so you can see at night. If we pan back a little bit, you can see the size of our power awning. It's actually a nice size awning. It goes from right here, which is good 3/4 of the way back on the coach, all the way to the front mirror, basically. And this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time out underneath here in your favorite chair, enjoying your family. Come back another step here. This is our own generator. This is the 5,500 watt generator. That's more than enough to run both air conditioners that are on the roof and anything else that you might want to run inside the coach. It's quiet, it's reliable, it has onboard diagnostics. If it ever does have a problem, it'll basically tell you what's wrong with it, and which can save you some money if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or save you some time for the technician that is diagnosing it. These back two compartments are both very large and pass-through storage on it. You can see all the way out the other side. You're going to appreciate every inch of storage you get on a motorhome. These also have, instead of some adhesive-based seal, I want you to pay attention when you look at other brands, most of them are going to have a piece of foam that is got a sticky back on it that holds it on, hopefully till the end of the warranty period is what they're hoping. That's not what they do here. This is automotive bulb seal. It's got spring steel built into that. It latches down over that steel and hangs on. You're never going to come out and see that seal laying on the ground somewhere. Another thing to see when you work your way around to the back of this motorhome, this isn't just some flat panel. That's the cheap way of doing things, is just have a laminated flat panel. This is a one-piece molded cap. Little things like your camera up there is molded into the cap. It doesn't look like somebody bolted it on after the fact as an afterthought. Everything's very automotive in the lines and the curves that you see here. And then we do have our 5,000-pound towability hitch back there with a 7-way round plug. We have a ladder we can easily get onto the roof. We'll come around to the driver's side of the coach. This back compartment is where your transfer switch is and your 50 amp shore power cord. This is a 50 amp coach. All right. 2 more storage bays. Then as we come forward, we also get our fuel fills right here. This is an 80-gallon fuel tank. It just takes the regular old 87 octane fuel. No need to go for the premium stuff. Fuel's expensive enough as it is. And then below that, we have our sewer hose storage. You don't want it mingling with anything else. It gets its own spot. Now we'll come forward into our wet bay, and this is kind of into 2 bays here a little bit, but they are kind of interconnected there. So when you look in here, we have a shower head with hot and cold water. We have our freshwater inlet there where we can hook up and to our city water connection, and we can fill our freshwater tank. We do have our whole house water filtration system, and something else I sometimes forget to point out on here is the way we have our tank monitors done. Historically, probes in tanks aren't very accurate, and the reason they're not very accurate is they get gunk on them. Particularly the black tank gets gunk on it. We'll call it gunk in the black tank, but we all know what it really is. When you have a probe inside the tank, it's unavoidable. You know, it's gonna get messed up. These tanks don't protrude the tank, which is beneficial in a couple ways. Number one, it's a much more accurate reading. Number two, sorry, wasn't intentional. Number two, that's 3 less holes in the tank. When you have an internal tank probe, it actually penetrates the tank, and that's one more opportunity for a leak in a tank that we don't want to leak on. So this tank here gives us a good illustration of the external tank probes, but all 3 holding tanks have the external tank probes on a Newmar. When you step forward into this little guy right here, this is where we dump our tanks at. That's where our sewer hose hooks up to. Notice it's inside the coach. It's in the basement of the coach. It's not hanging down below the coach like it is on so many gas motorhomes. This again, we want this insulated. We want this inside the conditioned space. We want it to not freeze, and that's a great way to do it, is to put it inside instead of hanging down below the coach. Now, this little guy right here, full of the pink stuff. That's your winterization hose. Most coaches don't come with that winterization hose. It's a cheap kit. You can add it later, but why not put it on from the factory? You know, they've got the valves there. You literally shove that hose down into a bottle of RV antifreeze, and you turn 2 valves, and now your motorhome will suck the RV antifreeze out of the bottle instead of sucking from the freshwater tank, which just makes winterizing this coach a breeze. Now, on this tray right here, there are 4 house batteries. That's a pull-out tray that makes them easy to service. There's actually a total of 6 house batteries on this coach. The other 2 are up under the hood. Have to take my word for it. You can't really see them the way we're arranged in here right now, but they're there. There's also 1 chassis battery, so a grand total of 7 batteries on this motorhome. Up front here, we have our propane bottle. I don't think you'll find yourself using a lot of propane in a motorhome like this. Your only appliance that uses a ton of it is the furnace, and most people try to keep these coaches in temperatures where they're not using their furnace a lot. Your water heater really doesn't use much, even though it's propane only. It is on demand, so unlike a tank water heater where it's sitting there heating the water at all times, this is actually only heating it when the water is flowing. So when somebody turns a faucet on, it'll kick the water heater on. Other than that, it's not even using any propane. Last, I want you to see how nice the Newmar slides fit. They do recess back into the wall. Better fit. It's a much less of a chance for any type of water or wind noise penetration. You can get a great look at our frameless windows down the side of the coach here as well. And that's about it for our $3124. So you have the price. It's a beautiful motorhome. It's brand new. Your warranty starts the day you pick it up. And it's an opportunity to get into a Newmar motorhome for significantly under $200,000, which is a very difficult price point anymore for a high-end motorhome. Any questions, please don't forget to ask for me when you call in. Don't forget to email me, call me, text me with any questions you might have. I'll gladly get back to you, and we'd love to see you stop in sometime. Thanks for watching. My name's Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV.